So, Thor, Love, and Thunder. What's up, everybody? Welcome back once again to the Big O Show. It's your boy, the Big O. We back with another video. If you're new to this channel, do me two huge favors. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get this channel to 300 subscribers. Let's try and reach 300 subscribers just as fast as we got to 200 subscribers, okay? So 300 is what we're trying to reach by the end of this year. We're trying to reach that just as fast as we got to 200 subscribers. So your boy went out tonight with the fam to go see Thor, Love, and Thunder. And yes, this review will contain spoilers, so if y'all have not watched the movie yet, go watch the movie, come back, watch this review, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Honestly, from the jump, okay, I'm going to just go with some of my negatives. One of my negatives was all the fucking comedy. I thought this movie took what little comedy I believe they had in Thor Ragnarok that was sprinkled in that movie and completely just threw it all over this fucking film. This movie has so much fucking comedy, okay? It was not funny. Literally. I didn't laugh at any fucking thing. All the jokes went over my fucking head. None of them about this movie was fucking funny. I was just like the comedy, man. The comedy. I'm like, why? It'd be nice if they would have sprinkled it throughout the film. But this movie honestly felt like it was part TV show, part film, where they tried to make it too funny. Oh my god, the comedy in this fucking film, y'all, okay? It was like every 5 minutes there was a joke. Even during the serious times, sometimes there was a joke, and I just couldn't really fuck with it, okay? This movie was okay. It wasn't good, it wasn't great, it was okay. I'm trying to think of anything else. There was a couple parts in the movie where I believe his name is Thor, the big rock dude that Thor is always with, where he was narrating Jane Foster and Thor's love life, and it was like right in the middle of the film where it splits off into a montage of them being together and having this relationship, and then how it went from being good to being strained. And I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And then they did it again some part later on in the fucking film where it was, I think it was Jane Foster's part, where he was narrating her part about, you know, her becoming a doctor and all this other shit. It's just, this movie was just too fucking, they tried to make it too funny. I don't know if this is Taika Waititi, Disney, Kevin Feige. It was just too much fucking comedy. They took the little bit of comedy from Thor, Ragnarok, and just completely splashed it all over this fucking movie, and it just wasn't a great film. So I can see why people on social media, specifically Twitter, are going in on this fucking movie. Now that I've watched the film, I might go in and watch some other people's reviews, watch how they gonna shit all over this fucking film, because I was catching snippets of other people's shit and they were saying how bad the movie was. And it's hard to disagree with what they're saying. Like I said, I think it's okay. I don't think it's a great movie. I don't think it's a good movie. I think it's an okay film. I'm trying to think of some of the negatives besides those two. I think those were my two biggest negatives. Besides the CGI, it was kind of iffy at certain points. But, you know, I guess it's to be expected. Now, the CGI is good, but I wouldn't say it's great. I guess depending on how to use it. What else? I guess those are really my three big negatives. So, to give you a little background, Gore, the God Butcher, basically at the beginning of the film, loses his kid, and they're in like a desert. It's super fucking hot, and then he ends up going to he ends up seeing, which I thought was a mirage. He actually sees like this forest, and he goes into the forest, and he's talking to this god. I guess he's just trying to plead with him and shit, and the god basically, in so many words, saying "fuck you." And so he takes the sword, absorbs some dark power, stabs the god in the throat, and then cuts off the god's head, basically saying, okay, this is where all gods gotta die, because y'all basically said fuck me, so I'm saying fuck y'all. I really thought Gore, the God Butcher's character, was great. I did think he could have been in this movie a little bit more, but overall, he was really, 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 really good. So, bravo to Christian Bale. Great fucking job being the God the Gore, Gore the God Butcher. Tessa Thompson, I thought she did a pretty good job. There was not a whole lot for her to really do. Being a part of this Thor, Mighty Thor, and Korg team up, I thought she did a good job. Mighty Thor kicked fucking ass. Natalie motherfucking Portman, bravo to fucking you. Okay, you did a really good job being Mighty Thor. In the ass kicking scenes, you were great. In the scenes, and yes, this is a spoiler. In the scenes where you were sick, you were great. Yes, she does have cancer. Come to find out, she has stage 4 cancer. She's dying. She's using Thor powers to basically heal herself. But then we come to find out that, towards the end of the film, when she ends up using the hammer one more time, she will die. So, at one point, when she's in the hospital and she's trying to find a cure, she basically looks at the Thor books or Valhalla books, whatever, and she decides to go to New Valhalla. And it's basically like a big-ass entertainment section now. And so she goes there, she sees the pieces of Thor's hammer, and all of a sudden the clouds start getting dark, and all of a sudden, she basically becomes Mighty Thor. You just don't see it. And so, she did a really good fucking job. Thor was great in this fucking film. At the beginning of the film, he's with the Guardians of the Galaxy, or as Guardians of the Galaxy, and basically he's just not really fitting with the squad. He had a badass scene at the beginning of the film where I don't know what the fuck these little blue creatures' names are called. But basically, these little blue creatures are fighting against these hairy-looking motherfuckers, and they're trying to get the castle back. And it's all made of glass. And so the Guardians ask Thor for help. He's kind of just chilling and shit. And he goes in there and basically does a Thor thing, looking like a fucking rock star, basically, and just lays waste to all these motherfucking creatures. But by doing so, he ends up fucking up and destroying their castle. And so he parts with the Guardians of the Galaxy because they are going on another adventure, and he has to go save his friend. I think it's Soft or Sift or whatever the fuck her name is. And so he goes to find her. She's not dead, but he does manage to help her. And like all the other gods are just being laid to fucking waste. So Thor, Mighty Thor, and Tessa Thompson's character, I just fucking forgot her name, and Korg go to Zeus to get fucking help, okay? And Zeus is this fat motherfucker that I can't take fucking seriously. He's got his lightning bolt, he's doing all these fucking tricks. Thor's trying to plead with this man to get him to use his lightning bolt to go stop Gore the God Butcher, who I almost forgot to tell y'all ended up kidnapping some kids at New Valhalla, so now they gotta, or whatever the fuck the place is called. He kidnapped some kids, and basically he's using them to get Thor to come to him so he can kill him. And Zeus is like, no, that's your problem. No, you can't have my shit. No, you can't use it. You don't even fucking know. So, Mighty Thor, Tessa Thompson's character, and Korg, they get into a fight with some of Zeus's guards. Zeus ends up like pretty much just shattering Korg into fucking rocky ass pieces, and then he takes his lightning bolt, throws it at Thor. Thor catches it, throws it back at him, and it impales him in the fucking chest, and he's out of there. And so, we get to the end of the fucking film where the big fight scene happens, and the fight scene was really good. It was really good. It was just something about the CGI and the Dark Planet, where everything, once it got to the Dark Planet, it started to turn fucking gray. The CGI in that part bothered me, but I was trying to look past it in order to enjoy the fucking film. The fight scene was good. There's another part, which I almost forgot to mention, with these kids, where one of the kids, he has a way of, through his mind, bringing somebody to where he is, but they're not actually there. They're just kind of like a hollow projection. So he does it with Thor, where they're trapped in this cage made of spikes and shit. And you figure it would be a real serious fucking moment, but it's like they try to make it funny and comedy, and it just didn't fucking work. It was just flat. It didn't work for me. Fucking comedy. Excuse me. So then by the end of the fucking film, Tessa Thompson's character gets stabbed. So her and Mighty Thor, who I believe also got injured, and Thor, and along with Korg's head, it's a whole other story, go back to Earth. And Tessa Thompson's okay, she just got a wound. Jane Foster, on the other hand, is really fucked up. Like, she's, more sick than she was when you saw her earlier in the film, because we learned that if she keep using the hammer, she's going to, die, like I explained earlier. And honestly, seeing her use the hammer was fucking badass. There's a fight scene where she used the hammer earlier in the film, and the hammer, as y'all can see, it's like all broken up into pieces. But when she uses it, like, she tosses the hammer, but the hammer like smacks into different, like, just shatters in different pieces and starts going at all Gore the God Butcher's basically like minions, what he calls forth, and it was bad fucking ass. And so we learn by the end of the film, of course, like I said, she's in the hospital, she's looking sick as fuck, like she's about to die right there, but she doesn't. And Thor decides to go fight Gore the God Butcher by himself. And so he basically makes this speech when he gets to God the Gore Butcher's not his hideout, but wherever the fuck he was at. He's trying to open some mythical door so he can kill all of the gods all at one time using some mystic power. And so he basically tells the kids, basically y'all all kids of, Odin's son, Thor, whatever. And he basically gives them all this power, and they, along with Thor, go to fight his minions that God the Gore Butcher calls forth. And so, big fight happens. And of course, the kids are beating the shit out of these little minion things. And as soon as Thor is like really starting to get his ass whooped, Jane shows up, and Thor's like, just, he's a mess. He's like, no, you already know you're going to die. If you use it, you're going to die. And so, she's kind of accepted that, and they get into this big fight. Well, not them, but they fight Gore the God Butcher, and they defeat him. So then in this other realm where it's like it's like the clouds, it looks like Earth, but it's like a bunch of clouds, and they're in water. And they're standing in front of like this, I don't know what the fuck it was. It was just like this, it looks like a void, a space. And this is where Gore is about to make his wish. But Thor's telling him, look, man, it's not power that you want, it's love. And we understand you miss your daughter, but don't do this. It ain't worth killing all the gods over. So while he's starting to, succumb to his injuries, he basically wishes his daughter back to health. Jane Foster, Thor, make up, she dies. I almost forgot to mention she did defeat him with her hammer, where she absorbed like his power, and they ended up destroying his sword, which was giving him the power. And basically she ends up dying. And it sucks because it's like Thor lost his brother, his mom, like his friends. And it's like, damn, this has been through a whole fucking lot. And for him to still be in a positive area, unfucking believable. And so, yeah, that happens. And so then he wishes his daughter back to life. And so by the end of the film, she's with Thor. All the kids are back fine and healthy. Thor is raising, or basically taking care of, I believe the daughter's name is Liv, as his own. And, it's kind of weird, her being an alien. She's not used to human customs, and Thor's still kind of getting used to being, human customs. And so they're on an alien planet, and Thor gives her, I forgot, his big-ass axe. And he's using the hammer, and they go after these monsters who are, I guess, going to terrorize somebody. And that's basically the end of the fucking film. Yes, there are 2 end credit scenes. One is Zeus is not dead. Zeus is being tended to with a big hole in his chest by his ladies. And basically he's telling them, like, look, humans need to go back to fearing us. They don't give a fuck about us. They give a fuck about these heroes, in so many words. And he basically sent his son Hercules, which I don't know anything about Hercules in this Marvel comic books or this universe, so whatever. And that's the end of that. And then the second part of the film, end credit scene, is where Jane finally makes it to Valhalla, where she meets Idris Elba's character. I can't remember what the fuck his name is, but she meets him up there. Basically, it's like heaven, and he welcomes her in, and she smiles, and that's the end of the fucking film. Now, from what I read in the fucking comics, not in the comics, but from what I read online, basically what she does get invited into, I think, Valhalla. She is either allowed to go in and basically go to heaven, or she's allowed to go back to Earth and live as whatever Tessa Thompson's character is. It's a long, long fucking story, okay? Overall, I'm gonna give this fucking movie a 6 out of 10 stars, okay? Or whatever. 6 out of 10. That's what I'm fucking giving this, okay? This movie was not great. It was not good. It was okay. I had a hard time really just enjoying it at certain parts, especially with all of the fucking comedy. And so when y'all go into this film, like I tell y'all with every movie, go into it with an open fucking mind, because this movie, it's just not that good. And now I kind of want to see what everybody else has to think about it. I want to go watch everybody else's review and see what they got to say about it, because I know they're going to shit all over this fucking film. I didn't even read anything online. I did want to, now I want to, because I know it's going to be some more shitting on this film. And I don't want to read or watch anything because people are shitting on this film. I just want to see what other people think of this film. They might point out something that maybe I didn't make a big deal about, or maybe I'll think is a negative now that I've seen it. Anyway, make sure y'all like, y'all comment, y'all subscribe. Leave comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about the film. Did y'all like it? Did you hate it? What parts did y'all like? What parts didn't y'all like? Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Until next time, I'm Big O. This is the Big O Show. I'm out. Peace.